Hey, hey, what a beautiful, beautiful Oregon day we're having here. Greetings to you wherever you are. I hope that you are finding some rest and reprieve and some beingness during your personal retreat. I have been, there's so many things I've wanted to share that I've been processing and feeling. One of them is, as many of you know, I went through a breakup earlier this year, and it was really surprising and shocking, and it took some time to recover from that. And I feel like I'm just now kind of getting into some deeper stuff, really letting go, forgiving, and you know, knowing that I'm okay. I know I'm okay. I'm absolutely okay. But still letting some of the feelings come up and the ups and downs of all of that. And something that has been coming to me lately to do is to work with the directions a little more. I was curious about directions only because I meditate in my room, and there's sort of this one spot that's the most comfortable space to meditate. And when I sit in that spot, I'm always facing north. And I've thought, gosh, that feels all right, but sometimes I don't want to face north. Sometimes I want to face a different direction. And so, knowing just a little about the directions, I've been reading up on some of that stuff more. And the night of the full moon, I wanted to take the opportunity to ritualize and take time to consciously do more releasing. So I wrote a letter of love and basically a big love letter of releasing and light-filled offering, and just letting my heart love, and then writing that out so I could burn it and release it. And I also spent some time showering and bathing and scrubbing my body and just doing some cleansing stuff. But after all of that was done, I decided to go to my room and meditate for a while, and I felt like I wanted to face each direction. I wanted to spend time. So I started by facing the west, and I was doing this, a lot of it around healing from the grief that I have felt over the loss of my relationship. And I'm thinking about the west. The west brings in newness, new life. I'm sorry, I don't mean the west, I mean the east. I started by facing the east. The east. The east is sort of it's bringing new life. That's all I can say. And that just felt like the best place to start if I'm gonna kind of do this honoring of the relationship that no longer is and that I'm working to release. And just feeling all of this, shot to the heart of, when someone arrives in your life or something new arrives in your life, it's beautiful and lovely and amazing and exciting. And that's the East brings that to us. And then I sat and I faced the South. And the South is, to me, it represents adventure, expansiveness, openness, again, new things, new experiences, positivity, all the goodness and abundance that comes from the South. The South winds, right, are so gentle and loving and good and warm. At least here in the Northern Hemisphere they are. And really feeling that, being really, really grateful, and just saying thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you for all the wonderful experiences that I have had because of this relationship, and the ways I've been able to experience myself in so many beautiful ways, and another person, and just the world at large. So many things that I absolutely would never, ever, ever regret or want to want to not have. So very, very grateful. A lot of gratitude facing south. And then when I turn and face the north, I know that the north can a lot of times bring hard winds. When I was reading about the directions, it was talking about facing north, and it means if you can sit and you can face north, it means that you have courage and you have stamina and you have the ability to do hard things and face hard things. And so I felt that in the north, knowing that things weren't perfect, knowing that things are hard, knowing that I have my stuff, and my ex-sweetheart, he had his stuff, and seeing that it wasn't always easy, and that's okay. No relationship is ever always easy or always perfect. You have to work hard at things, and you have to show up, and you have to be willing to face those things and stand in them. And that's a beautiful, beautiful thing to be able to do with oneself and with another person. But to find out that I know I have the stamina and the ability and the courage and the capacity to go deep, and to go to the tender places, the vulnerable places, the loving places, all the things. And it's not the easiest, but it's also an enormous gift. So I felt a lot of gratitude for the North as well. And then when I turned to the West, and granted, I was crying, at each of these, facing east and facing south and then facing north. And then I turned to the West, and the West represents endings. It represents moving on. I, sitting here on the West Coast, I was just imagining my, the end of everything, and him sailing away on his own journey in a ship, and I'm on shore, and I'm saying goodbye. And it's a beautiful, beautiful sunset, beautiful ocean view, beautiful boat, and grateful for all those things that I had just honored by sitting with all those other directions. The person coming into my life, the things that we shared together, both the beautiful, wonderful, exciting things, and also the deep, deep, deep things that are hugely valuable, and really showed us both our loving capacity, and then turning to the West, and knowing it's time to say goodbye. So I don't know if any of that resonates with you, but I find it to be cathartic to think about facing different, the metaphor of the directions. And then I know in a lot of Native American cultures, they do the 4 directions, but then there's also sky, Father Sky, and there's Mother Earth. And so, oh God, just being held between the two, Mother and Father, Father Sky, Mother Earth, as we experience life, as we experience a new life, and we experience loss, life and death, and all of that, and everything in between, changes, challenges, all that stuff. We are held. We are still deeply held by spirit, by earth, by sky, by nature, by our own hearts. And that's something I realize is essential to letting go and to forgiveness, is honestly not denying all the love in my heart. I can't forgive if I don't acknowledge all the love that's there. There's love there. There's love there. And that's why it hurts. But that's also why it feels right. So I hope this is helpful for you. I hope that there's a direction that maybe resonates with you, that you want to meditate on here in these recent days, as we go through changes, as we practice sitting with ourselves, and practice really honoring our feelings, letting our feelings come up, blessing them, and honoring them, and really tending to parts of ourselves that maybe we haven't tended to in a long time. So if you have grief coming up, whether that's recent grief or old grief, a lot of grief begets grief. Change can often beget grief. So, and if you're doing great, that's awesome too. I don't think you have to be, I feel like I'm actually doing pretty great, but there's still grief there and processing. So it can be many, many things at once. It's everything, not just one thing. Thank you for listening to me. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being present, practicing, staying with yourself, really. It's an honor to be practicing that right along with you. May you have a lovely, lovely day.